All right, it's gonna be like a rough draft. So I've been asked by multiple people to post what I've done, how I've built it, how I do it, how it maintains itself, the upkeep, advantages, disadvantages. I'm gonna get cut and dry, straight to the point, no BS like most people do. So you start out with a 5-gallon bucket. And you drill a bunch of holes in the bottom of it. When I say a bunch, I mean like spaced out 1/4 of an inch all over the place so it drains nice and fast. I went bigger than other people have went because I had better luck with that. I'll have to look up the sizes of different things I use to make this easier later, but at least now I've got the video. So, bunch of holes, let the water drain. Another 5-gallon bucket that you don't put any holes in, holds water. Drill all the holes in this one, set this bucket in there, put your seeds, which for me is wheat. That's what I'm using right now. It seems the girls seem to like it better. I'll mix in grass seed, wheat, sunflower seeds, oats, Milo. I forget what else. I feel like I'm missing something I've tried. They don't mind the sunflower seeds. If the sunflower seeds get too big, they don't tend to work so well. So, what you do is you drill a bunch of holes in the bottom of each side of these trays. Then you stagger them so they dump into each other and work their way down. A lot of people get fancy and put a trough in, eaves trough in down here with an angle on it. And then you put like a fitting on it with a hose and you drop that down in the tank. I don't. Heck with that. I just did an open reservoir. And yes, it will collect a bunch of bugs because this is my basement. I have a temp sensor that does temperature and humidity downstairs so I can keep an eye on it. I do have tomatoes and cucumbers growing, but I'll make a separate video for that. I also had a problem with humidity this last summer, spring, summer, fall. So I got a dehumidifier and put it downstairs. I haven't finished putting it in the right spot because I haven't decided where I want it yet. But I have it repurpose the water in the air and put it back into my reservoir. I have a little pump right now because I had a big pump. My big pump took a crap on me, unfortunately. So I got my little pump back out that I first started with. I started with these trays because I'm like, oh, this is plenty. I don't like this. The seeds that are in the centers, or the bottoms, the very bottoms anyway, will sprout first and then push up through the ones that are on this part that will not sprout right away. Then they will eventually kind of sprout if you have enough water flow. My next issue is mold. I had problems with mold. I did use all treated 2x4. So I tried a bunch of different pitches and angles, and I can't remember the exact measurements right now, but I think there's either a 2 or a 3-inch difference between this side and this side, which right now would actually be north and south. Looks like my board split, but anyway, I went with a few of these. They're drip irrigation nozzles. They're like 3 gallons per hour, if I remember right. They work, but I've learned these cheap ones after so much time. Some drip a lot harder than the others, and some actually kind of quit, which is with my little pump. So then I got a big pump going to make things work better. I was actually going to put seeds on this before I turn this on. I'm getting ahead of myself. So now you get an idea of how this works. I used, it's actually some type of pond pump. I don't know what it is. You can Google search by any pump. Them little ones I can't remember. That big one's 1,100 gallons per hour. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 of the drip irrigation lines. Drip irrigation nozzles, excuse me. I went with only like 4 to start with, like 2 and 2. And then I added a center one for 5. And then I decided to just add one in between each one on top of that. And then I just kept adding to them and then upping my time. I learned that you need more water flow so you can get everything covered. Like, as you can see right now, it's not doing a very good job. Well, if this is all full of seeds, mind you, like so, then the water will pool up and actually eventually make a cross. But once in a while, you get like this here. These didn't grow very good, or they're just kind of now starting to grow, is because I didn't have this quite in the right spot, which when they're empty, I got to pull them back a little ways because they splash so much. I don't know if you can see that in the video, them splashing or not. But. And the biggest thing is mold. The water got way too bad, so I made them way more of a pitch, and this comes on every 3 hours. It's a Wi-Fi switch, Wi-Fi outlet, whatever you call it. It's hooked to my phone. I can control it anytime. I can make changes on it. If I want to go off every hour or every minute or every 5 minutes, if you're not familiar with those, look them up. They're pretty cool to have. I also ran a hose long enough, 1/2-inch hose, with a 1/4 turn valve on it, so I can drain my reservoir when I need to, which I don't do all the time, but it works pretty good. You don't want to go too thick with the seeds, or you can cause a bunch of mold also. Or if it's too thick, the ones on the bottom will grow and the ones on the top won't. So there's multiple different ways to do it. If you guys have any questions, please comment in the comments. I will do the best I can to answer. Yes, there is a bunch of different ways to do this. I will do a way better video eventually here with drill bit sizes, etc., on how I drilled everything, what I all used on everything. And then you want to make darn sure that you leave a gap at least this far at the end, because what will happen is these will grow over time and they will push, and the water flow itself with the angle I have them at will actually cover these and plug it, and you'll show up, say this one plugged right here, next thing you know it's overflowing and it's bypassing this one and that one and goes into the reservoir barely, or makes a big mess on the floor. Anyway, that's all for now.